Hello guys, today we're going to make homemade cinnamon rolls and I'm very excited about this. The reason why is I've never made this before, and if you're a person that's never made something, just jump in and do it. Just jump in and do it, follow the recipe to a T, and hey, you know, it'll work out. Okay, so what I'm going to do, what my plan is on Thanksgiving morning, I don't like making a big breakfast because the night before I'm making such a huge meal. I'm usually tired in the morning. So what I'm going to do is I want to make this a tradition where I make homemade cinnamon rolls for them and they can just nuke them in the microwave real quick and that's their breakfast. Okay, so what we're going to do, let's start off. I've taken some milk. It's a half a cup of milk and a 1/4 cup of water, and I've nuked it in the microwave. It's just lukewarm, okay? And the reason why you want to warm it up is because you want to activate this yeast. This is 1 packet of yeast, and I'm going to pour it in here. And what you're also going to need is a teaspoon of sugar. And what the sugar will do is it will give the yeast something to feed off of so it can activate, okay? So let's just do just a little quick stir on that, okay? And then we'll let this sit for 10 minutes. And when the yeast gets active, it'll start to froth up and get kind of frothy. Okay, so let's just set this aside for 5 to 10 minutes, okay? And then what we're going to also do is when the yeast gets nice and frothy, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of melted butter, okay? So we'll set that there. Okay, and what we're going to do is right here I have, here, hold on 1 second. Okay guys, now if you look down in the yeast is starting to froth up exactly like it's supposed to, okay? Give it a few more minutes, maybe another 3 or 4 minutes. Once it gets nice and frothy, I'm going to add this 2 tablespoons of melted butter into here. And now what we're going to do, we need a teaspoon. This is just a teaspoon of salt. I'm going to add it into 2 3/4 cup of flour. Let me get that mixed up. Okay, and this flour has been sifted, okay? When you sift your flour, you'll make a lighter dough. Mix that salt in there really well. Okay, let's wait on this yeast to froth up and I'll be back. Okay, everybody, so we're back. Now, I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of sugar into my flour. Let me mix this up really well. Okay. And then if you can look over here at the yeast is doing exactly what I want it to do. Now I'm going to go ahead and add the 2 tablespoons of butter, okay? Right in there just like that, okay? We have active yeast. Okay, I got the sugar mixed in, and remember I have the salt in here. Okay, and the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to add 1 egg. Okay? I think I'll beat the egg first. Give me 1 second. Beat this egg up. I'm going to put the egg in with my yeast, okay? There we go. And that's 1 large egg. Get all that egg out, okay? There you go. And the next step is we're going to take this yeast mixture and we're going to add it to the flour. Okay? Be right back.
Go.
Okay, so let me add, we're going to do a little bit of flour at a time, okay? Just a little bit at a time. I'm going to go ahead and throw my yeast in, my yeast mixture. Make sure I get it all out, okay? Because we need all of that. Oh, okay. I love the smell of yeast. It smells so good. Okay. So let's start, you're going to start off with a whisk. And then once it gets thicker, we can use our hands or use a nice spoon, okay? See that? See how that's mixing up? All right. Let's start to put more flour, just a little bit at a time. Okay. Now your dough will start to form a ball. Okay, like I said, once it gets a little bit thicker, we'll use our hands or we'll use a spoon. Yeah, that's thick enough, so I'm going to go ahead and change my utensil, okay? I'm going to scrape that off of there because we need all of that. Okay, more flour. Let's mix, 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 mix. Okay. Whoops, I'm getting flour everywhere. I'm going to add some more flour, okay? Be right back. Okay, here's what the dough looks like. What I'm going to do, we're going to have some leftover flour here. You can see it there? But we're going to start to knead this dough. And we're just going to knead in the flour bit by bit until we get it all incorporated, okay? Let me put this bowl aside. Let's get started. Don't be afraid to touch the dough, okay? Don't be afraid. Get in there, touch the dough. Let the dough know that you love it. Okay. All right. Let's get this together. I'm so excited to make these. Who doesn't love homemade cinnamon rolls? With that cinnamon, I'm going to make a cream cheese icing. Ooh, that's going to be so mouth-watering. I can't wait to sink my teeth down in this. And I hope that my family loves it. I know they will. I know they will. I love making new recipes and finding out new tricks and trades. Let's see. Oh, this is coming together perfectly. Now, if you get a situation where your dough starts to stick a little, take the flour. Just push that flour over in there like that, okay? That's all you got to do. No problem. If you need to put more flour on your board or on your table, I'm just using my table here. Just put more flour, okay? Let's see. At this point, I'm going to start to knead it. And knead it means you're going to fold it and pull away. Fold it, pull away. I'm going to incorporate this flour as we go. Fold it and pull away. Fold it, pull away. And it's so soft. It's like a pillow. And I think what I'm going to actually need, I'm going to need to get me some more flour, okay? Give me just a second. I'm going to get some more flour. I'm going to flour my table and I'll be right back. Okay, I've put some flour. See the flour here? I've put some flour on my board because my dough was sticking a little. And let's go back to kneading. You push, fold, push, fold, push and fold. Massage the dough. It feels so nice. This is a really nice feeling. It feels like a pillow. Okay. Let's knead this dough and get that activated. Oh, this is really relaxing, actually. It really is. The smell of fresh yeast dough. Oh, it smells so good. Okay, I think I need to put a little bit more flour on my board. I'll be right back. Let me get a little bit more flour. Not too much. Just enough so it doesn't stick, okay? There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, next thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to get a nice clean bowl. And I'm going to put some oil in my bowl so that the dough doesn't stick. And we're going to let this dough rise, okay? So I'll be right back. Okay, everybody, just continue to knead your dough for a good 8 minutes. I've already kneaded it for maybe 6 minutes, okay? So just a few more minutes. Get that kneading in. Oh, this dough, I can't. Oh, it is beautiful. It feels so good and soft. Look at that, guys. Okay. And like I said, just fold and press and pull, okay? Fold, press, and pull. And then over here, as you can see, I've taken my bowl and I've lined it with some cooking oil. And we're going to put this in the bowl with the oil, and we're going to let it rise. We're going to let it rise for about 35 minutes to an hour. Okay, and you can put a cheesecloth on top, a tea towel, aluminum foil, plastic wrap, whatever you want to put on top, and put this in a nice warm area in your kitchen. I'm going to put mine inside of my microwave, okay? Just make sure nobody turns the microwave on. Okay, let's turn this into a nice ball. Get this into a ball, and we'll put it in our bowl. Okay, let's throw it on in. And what you want to do is just do this, okay, to make sure all the sides of the dough have oil, so when you go to take this out, it's not sticking to your bowl, okay? See, it's nice oiled. All right, let me get aluminum foil here. I'm going to lightly put a tin. I'm not going to lift it real tight like that. I'm just going to loosely cover it. Just loosely kind of puff it up here, because that dough's going to rise and I don't want it to stick to the aluminum foil, okay? I'm going to put this in my microwave for 35 minutes to an hour, and I'll come. Okay, everybody, we're back, and the dough has risen. It's doubled its size, and what you want to do is you just want to punch down in the middle to get that air out, okay? Punch maybe 2 more times just to get that air out. Let's get this onto, oh, it feels so good. Let's get this onto here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll this out, and I'll be back. Okay, everybody, we got the dough rolled out, and you want it about 1/4 inch thick, okay? All right, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to slather on some room temperature butter. If you want to use melted butter, that's fine too, okay? Let's just get that slathered on just like this. And what the butter will do, the butter will hold the cinnamon and sugar in place. Okay. There we go. Let's get that on there just like this. And then we'll put our brown sugar and cinnamon in. I have 1.5 cups of brown sugar, and I'm just going to eyeball the cinnamon, okay? So we got that on there nice and neatly, just like that. Now let's just go in with our hands and disperse your brown sugar, okay? Try to keep like a rim on the edge so when we seal it, it doesn't have a problem staying together, okay? Let's get that brown sugar on there, and you want to use a nice amount of cinnamon. The reason why is that's why it's called cinnamon rolls. It has a nice amount of cinnamon in it, okay? Now this is a light brown sugar. You can use dark brown sugar. You can put raisins in this. You can put apples in this, whatever you like to do. Okay, I'm just going to do a traditional cinnamon roll. I've already got other ideas for this dough also. I was thinking of a blueberry lemon roll. I think that would taste really good. I'll have to give that a try and see how I like that. I think it would be awesome. Okay, so that's the 1.5 cups, and let's pat it in there. Just like that. Get it patted in there. Just like that. And when we roll this, we're not going to roll it from the short side. We're going to roll it long ways, okay? That way we can get more cinnamon rolls, okay? So let me get this cinnamon on here. We'll get started rolling. Look at that. Oh, this smells so good. See how we left the rim here? So that when we seal it, it can turn out just perfect. It'll stick together, okay? It'll stick to itself. That's about what we're wanting, okay? Nice amount of cinnamon in it. If you want to use nutmeg, use nutmeg, okay? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start rolling, okay? And I'm going to roll from here. You want a tight roll. You don't want it too tight, because if you make it too tight, the middle will come. Like if this is a cinnamon roll, the middle will pop up. So don't do it too tight. Just do it, you know, tight enough, not too tight. Okay, and roll. Just keep rolling. Just keep on rolling. And like I told you guys earlier, this is my first time making this. Don't be afraid to make a new recipe. Otherwise, you know, you'll stay stuck in the same spot that you were last year. Try new things, try new recipes, write the recipe down. You know, look at the recipe, write it down, go over it, and then just make it. You know, that's how I have learned how to cook a lot of things, by watching people, you know, writing things down, testing it and trying it, and then you can make it the way you like to make it, okay? So right here on the end, I'm just going to pinch this part and the end together, okay? The seam, if you can see that, there we go, okay. And then we'll stop it right here. Put that seam at the bottom. Let me continue to pinch it under here. And then we'll go ahead and cut it. Okay, everybody, I've rolled out the dough, and what you want to do, you want to make a nice even end, okay, because like normally the end, see that, it doesn't have a lot of cinnamon on there, but we're not going to waste that. We're going to save it and use it for later. So let's cut the uneven ends off, okay? Shoot, like I said, we can fry this up and put some cinnamon sugar on there and give it to the kids and let them eat it. But here's what we'll do. You want to use a serrated knife, a knife that has edges, because we need to saw through it. Okay, and we don't want it to smush it down. Okay, here's what that looks like. Look at that. Okay, let me get my pan. I'll be right back. Okay, what I have here is a greased pan. Okay, you can use a circular pan. You can use a rectangle, a square, whatever you choose to use, okay? And cut them as thick as you would like, okay? I'm going to do about a half of a thumb's inch. I don't know if that makes any sense, but just you know, that's about the width that we want. And try to make them all even so they all can cook at the same time. You don't want any that's smaller, any that's taller. Let's try to make them all the same width. Let's get these cut and put in here, and I'll come back. Okay, everybody, I've cut them with the serrated knife and rearranged them. See how they're not too tight, but tight enough, okay? That way, that if you, like I said, if you roll them too tight, that top will come up, and we're not looking for that. Okay, so we cut them. We put them in here in a greased pan. I just greased it with some butter. We're going to let this rise. We're going to put this back in the microwave, covered up for a good 35 minutes, and then we're going to bake them, okay? Meanwhile, I'm going to make some cream cheese icing. Okay, everybody, let's look and see how the dough has risen. This is our second rise. Oh, perfect. See that? They doubled in size, and they look awesome. These are the ones that are towards the end here, but hey, that's fine. That's okay. Let's go ahead and get these in the oven. We're going to put them in the oven on 350, and we're going to cook them between 15 and 25 minutes, okay? And like you'll be able to feel it and feel when it's done, okay? What you can do also is you can take a tester, just cut like that piece off, taste it, and if that part of the dough is done, you're ready to ice it, okay? And what you also want to do is you want to let these cool down for at least a good 10 minutes before you put your icing on, because you don't want the icing to go splat. Okay, but I'll also video these with the icing on them. Okay, everybody, the cinnamon rolls have came out the oven, and this is perfect. This is just what you want them to look like, okay? And if you actually look down in here, you can see a little bit of that cinnamon glaze there, so the bottom's going to be kind of sticky. And what I needed to do is for about 10 minutes, I'm going to let it set, and then I'll smear my cream cheese icing on. And I'll be back, guys. Bye.
Might as well go ahead and show them the rest.
Okay, everybody, we're back. We're making cream cheese icing, homemade cream cheese icing for the homemade cinnamon rolls. Okay, so what you're going to need is a full thing of cream cheese. Okay, 2 full sticks of butter. And like my family, they love cream cheese icing. We put that on carrot cake. We put it on red velvet cake. That's the go-to icing. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to cream together this cream cheese and butter just for a second. So never mind the noise for a second. Let's see, let's do it this way. I don't have to have so much noise. Turn it off. Okay, that's just enough just to mix the butter and the cream cheese together, okay? And what we're going to need is we're going to need a teaspoon and a half of vanilla. That'll give it good flavor. And then we have 3 cups of powdered sugar, okay? And we're going to start off putting half of it in there. And the powdered sugar might poof when I turn this on, but hey, it's okay. Okay, let's scrape the sides down a little. Always get that extra in there, okay? You don't want anything to go to waste. Get that powdered sugar that's on the sides, and you can see it forming already. And now, you can make this as thick as you want it or as thin as you want it. I want mine to be semi-thick because while my cinnamon buns are still warm, that's when I'm going to spread mine on, and mine is going to melt over top of the cinnamon buns. Now, I'm going to, this is just a 1/4 cup of milk, and what I'm going to do is just put just a little bit in and see if I like the thickness. If not, I'll put a little bit more in. Okay, looks like, let me see, I'm going to taste this, okay? Oh my goodness. Woo! It's good. It's good. Okay, now remember, I haven't put the rest of the powdered sugar in. Let's go ahead and put the rest in and get it mixed up. Let's get the sides put in so we don't waste anything. Cream cheese icing really is so good. It's one of my favorites. You can make a peanut butter cream cheese icing the same way, just by adding peanut butter to these same ingredients. Okay, let's go ahead and mix it. And at this moment, I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit more milk, okay? Turn it on. Just that little tiny bit more milk. Exactly what I'm looking for. Okay, now let me show you. Let me scrape the sides down just a little. This here, that's what I'm looking for. I'm going to taste it. Oh, there's my son putting his finger in. Let me know what you think. Sounds good?
Beautiful.
Okay. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe this video, and you'll see me put this on the homemade cinnamon roll. Okay, everybody, we're back. The cinnamon rolls have came out the oven, and this is exactly what you're looking for. See that brown right there? That's exactly, and what I did was right here, you can see I took a little taster just to make sure that dough was done. If you look down in here, you can see where that cinnamon had glaze down in there, so your bottom is going to be sticky and cinnamony. Okay, we're going to wait for about 10 minutes. Let these cool down for about 10 minutes, and then we'll put our icing on and we'll be back. We have the cream cheese icing on here. Here's what it looks like. Can't wait to dig down into this. Okay, like and subscribe this. I hope you guys enjoy this. Share it with your family. And always, God bless and have a good night.